In this video, I'm going to be giving you the exact in-depth high-level training that I give to sales teams that I build, the companies that I consult for, and the clients that I personally work with one-on-one. Now, the salespeople I've trained have set tens of thousands of appointments, they've closed tens of thousands of calls, and have generated well north of $200 million in revenue for our businesses we work with. Now, that includes a financial investing company going from $450K a month to $1.1 million a month in 5 months, and an e-com agency business going from $60K a month to $160K in 2 months. A men's mindset and business coaching program we took from $14.5K per month to $134K per month in one singular month. A biz op coaching program go from $40K per month to $103K per month in 1 month. We helped a SaaS company go from absolutely zero sales reps to a $129 million valuation. And we helped another sales and payments company sell and get acquired for $193 million. And today, I just want to give you as much value as possible and make every second of this video the best possible return on investment of your time. This isn't going to be like the rest of those free courses or long videos out there on YouTube that are essentially just long webinars that are trying to sell you some paid course. In this video, you're going to learn the same strategies and tactics that I personally use in my career to this day and the exact methods I've personally used to generate over 23 million in closed deals myself over the last 12 years. So no matter if you're new to sales, you're already a sales rep, or you're a business owner, I guarantee that this will help get you started or even better at sales and help you build and go on and train your own sales team of setters, closers, customer success, cold callers, SDRs, DM setters. In this video, we're going to be covering things like crafting an offer, right? Finding and keeping good sales talent, how to actually get people on your calendar, cold calling and setting tactics, how to understand longer sales cycles, how to handle objections, my specific sales frameworks and scripts and how we work with our clients, how to build a team, and more. And you can see my thought process pretty much start to finish from lead to close. This video you're about to watch is going to be pretty long. People have paid thousands of dollars for this information and continually do. So if you really want to get the most out of this, do yourself a favor right now. Grab a pen, paper, and open up a Google Doc, and let's get ready to take some notes. And without further ado, let's get started. My main core focus for this video from my mentor, Myron Golden, what he says is do not give anything away for free that someone wouldn't be excited to exchange money for. So my whole goal with this video is to give you really, really good, specific, poignant information. So if you're a business owner, this is going to help you find sales reps, build a team, and grow your revenue. If you're a sales rep, you're going to start to understand and think about how you can work within a business and how you can provide value. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today is crafting an offer, because I personally believe that everything is a derivative and derives from your offer. Your funnel is a direct reflection of what you offer. Your scripts is a direct reflection of what you offer. Who you hire is a direct reflection of what you offer. Will determine the majority of everything else that we talk about in this video. So why not start at the most important foundational building block of your business, which is your offer. An offer is essentially something that you provide to the marketplace or something that you tell the marketplace. Now, what I think the most important thing here with an offer is making sure you're offering something that you absolutely believe in. That's going to help everything else that we do in this video. And it's something that I tell the clients that I coach on a weekly basis. We literally just had a call about this. And offer is so important. People like Ayman Gadzi, they have tried to brainwash, in a good way, audience into creating a type of business and an offer that they then sell tertiary products to. Oh, the best agency model is cold email, but they also have a cold email agency. They have a cold email technology. They have a cold email course. Of course, they're going to tell you that the best thing to sell in 2024 is a cold email offer, because that's how they're going to help make money. The more people that believe that statement, the more people are going to look and turn to them to help them grow that agency. So what I think is more importantly is like, what do you actually care about? What is your skills and your strengths? I would look at yourself, and I guarantee that all of you have specific skills and strengths. So for me, and why our businesses offer is sales, and I teach people sales and I build sales teams, is because for the better part of a decade, that's exactly what I was doing. I was a cold cold caller. I was an SDR. I was in a boiler room. I was ripping dials. I've door knocked. I've sold cars. I've done enterprise software. I've sold, for my last deal that I closed was Berkshire Hathaway. My skills and strengths are derived from what I've been doing for the majority of my career. So it's very simple for me to be super passionate and to have a very short learning curve. The last thing that you want to do is pick an offer that you don't even care about, and essentially you're just doing what someone else told you to do, and you really don't know why beyond the fact that you saw someone else being successful in it. But what you don't see, if we look at like below the surface, right? If this is like the surface and this is what you're seeing, this is the business that this person has, or the lifestyle, or the mansion, right? And all the cars. These are terrible cars, by the way. This is what you see on social media. Everything that has contributed to this is built on years of expertise, hardships, and failures, right? And time spent, money spent. This is what hasn't been seen by the world. Or sometimes with like Mangazi, he showed it all to us. But making sure that what you are doing actually aligns with what you're good at, what you're passionate about, because when things get tough, you have to be connected to the reason why you're in business, because otherwise you're just going to quit and you're going to continually be stuck in this cycle of trying to become an entrepreneur or trying to become wealthy in sales and have these commission checks. You're going to job offer hop, create multiple different businesses. But before we even get into this, make sure that the business that you're scaling, you actually want to scale. What I'm about to go through in this video is actually going to be super valuable to you in helping you scale whatever business you're looking to scale. The first thing that we're going to talk about is crafting the actual offer. So once you understand the business and you really enjoy it, you have to know what the problem is of the marketplace that you're trying to solve. So understand, who are you trying to sell to? Now, my piece of advice here would be sell to people who have money. Don't sell to broke people. You want to find people who have money and have problems. The big thing here is make sure it's a big problem, because little problems you don't have to solve all the time. Make sure it is a glaring problem that they're actively seeking to find a solution for. This video, I'm making this because I know that people like you watching this video are seeking information and content about building and scaling their business, specifically around a sales team and sales functions. Or else I wouldn't make this video, because people aren't actively seeking it. Why am I going to spend probably over 4 to 6 hours preparation, editing, recording, and posting this, and then distributing this across content? I wouldn't do all of this if there wasn't people who had lots of money and are actively seeking this problem that are willing to spend money to fix it. So making sure that what your offer is speaks to people with money that have big problems. That's going to be the big focus on what you're going to want to do with your offer. So I would just simply ask myself, who are the people who I'm attracting with this offer? And are those the people that I actually want to attract? Your messaging is super important. What your messaging is on your landing page, on your funnel, on your content, on your link in bio and your LinkedIn profile, making sure that what your offer is actually going to attract that person. So there's a couple of key components. So you have your messaging, you have your price, you have your audience, and then you have your proof that you've done something, right? So all of these things have to align for you to have a good offer. So your messaging is, who do you help, right? And how are you conveying that message to that person? So if you're like, I help businesses generate 10 to 20 booked calls per month, or you don't pay. How many times have you seen that? Or you don't pay shit? That's already putting in the mind of the prospect that this might not work, and they're trying to mitigate the risk, right? If I knew my product worked, I'm not going to say, or you don't pay, or we'll work for free until you do. That would say that I would have a lack of confidence in what I'm actually going to be providing you. And it's kind of subconsciously saying to the person that I don't feel 100% confident, so I have to have a reversal of risk in my messaging. This might help generate more leads. I'm not saying this doesn't work. I just personally don't want that, because you're attracting people who don't want to pay for something or are lower quality, in my personal opinion of doing this for a long time. Also, this I help businesses generate book calls is very inclusive. Every single business on planet Earth wants to generate booked calls on the calendar. if they're a service provider and they do high ticket stuff. So you're not really speaking to a specific audience, and you're also just not standing out with any specificity in a blue ocean of lead generation offers, if that's your offer. So be more specific with your messaging, and in your messaging, identify problems that the people that you want to work with that have money to pay for your service are actually encountering, and have it not speak to the people you don't want opting in or getting your lead magnet or booking a call or giving you any money. So essentially what you're going to want to do is speak specifically to your audience. So I help, let's say, HVAC companies with 20 plus employees do blank. Like now I'm working with HVAC companies, but not only HVAC companies that have over 20 employees, they're a well-established company. So you're calling out that person. If I am a real estate agent, I'm not going to listen to this message because it's not for me. I help HVAC companies. Oh, I'm not an HVAC company. Keep scrolling. They're not going to eat up your ad costs. Like you're actually going to get a better target audience, and your leads that are going to sign up are the ones that identify with that message. So make sure that your messaging is attracting the people that you actually want to attract. And at the same time, the people who aren't your ideal audience won't even click on the fucking thing or waste your time because it's not for them. You also need to make sure that your price is attracting people in your offer. So I had this conversation with a kid. He's new to business. I think he's doing like 5, 10, 15K a month or something like that, right? And his pricing had made no logical sense to what his offer was. So if I am helping you generate an additional like 100K in revenue in 3 months, the price has to correlate to how awesome that is. If I'm like, hey, I'm going to help you generate 100 grand, $33,000 per month for 3 months, and I'm only going to charge you $1,500 for that service, that doesn't make any logical sense in my brain. Maybe I'm weird, but if you're good, I'm not expecting you to be cheap. If you're cheap, I'm also not expecting you to be good. Because you don't value yourself, how can I value you? I'm going off of the basis of your own belief system and what you do and what you feel confident in charging. A low price point for a really good offer, or what you say is the offer, automatically draws a huge red flag in my brain and most likely in the brains of your buyers. So if you're on sales calls and you're like, hey, I keep lowering my price and I can't close any more deals, your price is actually hurting your ability to close. When you're pricing your offer, make sure that the price makes logical sense with what your claim and what your offer is. Just look at your price. Is that attracting the ideal client? And does it actually make logical sense what you're going to do for that person? The last thing to talk about in regards to offer is just substantiating it with proof. That could be 2 buckets. You could have client results or you could have your own results, because you could be your own case study. This is the exact strategy that we used to grow our agency or grow my service-based business from 10K to $200,000 per month in 6 months. And I'm going to help teach you to do the same things. That is actually social proof. You have to do it yourself. That's honestly one of the most important things. And I get pitched all day long in the DMs. If you yourself aren't doing the thing that you're selling, I don't trust that you can do it for me, because if you can do it for me, you're going to do it for yourself. And where I see this a lot is like with audience growth building, social media type people, or like short form agencies. If you're trying to pitch me on like YouTube growth, you're like, hey, I'm going to help you add an additional 10,000 YouTube subscribers in the next 3 months. Cool. That sounds great. But if I go to your YouTube channel and you have 500 subs, I'm not going to believe that you can get me to 10K because you yourself haven't done it. Making sure that if you're saying you're going to do something or you're offering a service, make sure that you've actually done it. A good example is for my own business. I'm teaching people how to build sales teams, and I'm teaching people how to improve their CRM and improve their funnel and improve their automations and improve their messaging and having good sales talent. So if someone opted in to my funnel and they never got a text, they never got a call, they never got an email, they didn't have a chance to book a call, I didn't have anything to help with their show rate once they booked a call, and we were terrible at sales and the salespeople were terrible, like no one's going to believe that we're going to be able to do that for their business. Make sure, guys, everything that you do in your business and in the top, middle, and bottom of your funnel actually aligns with the service that you're providing. Don't offer something that you yourself haven't done. Just make sure that there's proof that what you're selling is actually true, substantiated, and someone, if they Googled you, would be able to hear people speak positively about your business. Now, if you don't have that, then get off this video, because you don't need to build a sales team. You don't need to improve your funnel. You need to just go get 1, 2, 3 clients and just hitting it out of the park with those people, and then identifying and recording everything that you do, and then use that in your future marketing to get your 4th, 5th, and 6th client. Then use the results from your 4, 5, 6 to get 7, 8, 9, 10, and just continually do that cycle, get better, get smarter, get more educated, get more of an authoritative in that industry and in that niche that you're playing in that arena, and then just continually leverage your results on substantiated proof that you can do what you actually do, and having referrals and word of mouth and create content, and people can look at you and hear you and know that you're good at what you do. That's really everything on crafting an offer. You should know what to offer due to your skills and your strengths, and then be able to price it correctly and then substantiate it with proof. So now, once you have your offer, the next thing you're going to want to do is fill the calendar. And don't just fill the calendar with anything, fill it with qualified leads. Because the worst thing that you could ever do is fill your calendar with a bunch of terribly unqualified people who cannot buy your service, and they just waste your time and they waste your energy. So making sure that based on your offer, you are speaking to the right person, you're telling them the right message, and telling them that you can solve their problems, you are going to automatically start to have more qualified people filling on your calendar. For me, the only things that I know to do to fill a calendar with qualified leads is going to be 3 separate buckets. And those 3 separate buckets is going to be cold, and that could be emails, that can be calls, or that can be DMs, or that can be in-person outreach. So you can go to businesses, you can knock on doors, you can give out your business cards, you can go to networking events. DMs is going to be on LinkedIn, IG, Facebook for the most part. Cold calls and cold email is pretty self-explanatory. Now, the other way of doing it is going to be paid, and the last one will be organic. So this is going to be ads, and organic is going to be content, word of mouth, SEO. The easiest thing to scale a business on is this one and this one. Cold is going to be the simplest to set up, but it's going to require the most activity. Organic is going to take the most time, and paid will take the most money. So this is patience, time, and money. So depending on what you have, I hope you have patience and I hope you have time. Sometimes not everyone has the money to spend on paid ads, which is totally fine. Now, the cool thing about cold and organic is they work together. So the same things that you say in your cold email will also be the same things that you use in your cold calls. And now the things that you hear in your sales calls will also fuel what you say in your content, what you publish on your website. Newsletter actually is one that I would add in here as well. So the same things that you're hearing in your cold outbounds. So if I'm sending out DMs to people and no one's answering it and I'm getting no responses, is a pretty good indication that what I'm saying in that message is not resonating. The best way that I know how to validate an offer and messaging and what you do and how you do it is calls. Because when you're cold calling someone, you have total control over who that person is. You have total control over what you say to that person, and you have total control in navigating that conversation and really holding the frame of that conversation. Because with a cold email, now the person in the cold email, they read your cold email, and depending on their mood or where they're at mentally, that depends on how good your response rate is. So if this person's having a bad day and they get a cold email from you, and the cold email is kind of spammy, it's got too many words, they're just not in the right frame of mind, or if they have a lack of knowledge about what it is that you do, they're going to read it in their own head. Because you could read anything and people are going to understand it and resonate with what you're saying very differently. With a phone call, you are going to be able to provide the context that this person is going to hear with their 2 ears. And if someone's like, well, hey, I'm unsure about this thing that you said, in a live environment, you have the ability to re-explain or go deeper on a subject or help them truly understand the things that you're trying to help them with. And you're going to be able to ask way better questions and get live feedback. With a cold email, someone can just hit unsubscribe and you don't know what it was about that cold email that that person liked or didn't like. So that's why I prefer phone calls personally, especially just validating things and making sure that you have a system and a process. Where the next thing we talk about is building a sales team. So making sure, guys, that you're going to be recording everything that you do in cold outreach and content or organic and or paid ads. Making sure that you're tracking things properly. And if you're doing calls, some of the metrics, so you have your total dials, you have connects. Now, a connect is not a gatekeeper. A connect is, did I speak with the intended person that I tried to dial in my CRM? So if I'm trying to call John Smith, if anyone not named John Smith picks up that call, that's not a connect. And then from there, you have your convos. If I called John Smith and I was able to get through the opener of my script, if they said yes, then boom, that's a conversation. Now, from conversations, you're going to have your connect to convo percentage. So what percentage of connects do I get into a conversation? That's really just going to be your opener. That's tracking your opener and how good your opener is. And then from convos, you're going to have qualified convos. And then from there, you're going to have meetings set. And then after that, you're going to have like show rate and close rate. So this is your entire tracking, right? Making sure if you're doing any cold calls, making sure that you have all of your dials tracked. How many connects are you having? How many conversations? How many connects to convos do you get? You're going to have your convo to booking rate. So that's going to say, how good are you at actually cold calling? So of the people that I call, how many times they say yes to my opener? And then from those conversations that I'm having with those people, how many people are actually getting on the calendar? This is going to help you really understand where are you good at cold calling, where you need improvement in cold calling, where do you need to edit the scripts. The only way that you get to this level in your script is by having a bunch of conversations and understanding what are the things that are people saying when you say X. Or when you say Y. Here is more of your traditional ice cold script. Hey, this is blank from blank. We haven't spoken before. I'm calling you out of the blue, but it'll take me 23 seconds to tell you why I called, and then you can tell me if you want to keep talking after that. Does that sound fair? Now, this is the most important part of a script. So once they say yes, boom, that is a convo. And then from here, cool, thanks. We work with law firms, HR platforms to help them with blank problem. Typically when I'm talking to them, things are going pretty well, but they tell me they often to run into one or two of these frustrations. And then here you want to list what are the main pain points that people who give you money in the past had before working with you that you've helped them overcome. So they're looking to help their clients fulfill major media mention requirement, but find that other providers aren't able to guarantee coverage or do it poorly, or they're looking to provide highly relevant referrals to their clients and access to affiliate revenue, but don't know any trusted options in the industry. So those are the two main things that this company knows that they do inside of that offer. With where you guys are right now, I was curious if either of those resonated with you too. And then from there, if they didn't resonate, we have a couple of different rebuttals. Oh, wow, I don't hear that hardly at all. Curious, you guys have never run into those things? Or, oh, wow, so you're not trying to, do blank or this at all? Adjacent pain. Do you have any frustrations in your process similar to those? And then ego stroke. What have you done that you figured it out that no one else has? Kind of stroke that ego. Utopia. Sounds like everything is perfect in your process. You don't have anything that can be improved at all. And then in the negative, right? So fulfilling a major requirement to your clients, visa applications, increasing your revenue sounds like that's not something you'd be interested in right now. So kind of flipping the script there. Now, if they do resonate, then we go into impact. This is where you're going to be probing and digging through that cold call script, right? So can you tell me more about that? How long has this been a frustration for you? Why does this matter? What is this impacting with your team or company's goals? And then you're going to get them to commit to that pain. So typically when I hear something like that, it's something they solved if they knew how or could. Is that the case for you guys? What have you guys tried to fix this problem that hasn't worked before, right? And why is it important to prioritize right now? Once you understand the problems that they're having, you can easily identify, probe, and dig into those pain points and get that valuable information to substantiate and earn the right to ask for their time. Then you can go for the meeting ask. We also go into tie downs. We have an elevator pitch, and then you go through the post sell down here. That is a cold call script, and that is what you're going to be tracking in here. In a script and how it relates to the data. If you're not getting a lot of conversations, that means that you're probably pretty bad at the beginning of the phone call. You're not good in your confidence, you're not good in your tonality, and you're not really getting people to get interested in the first 10 to 15 seconds. If you're doing cold calls, then and you're tracking this and you have a low convo percentage, you want like around a 50 to 70% convo percentage, right? So every single person that you call that is the right person, you want around at least half of the times they say yes to, hey, tell me why you called. If you have a low convo to booking rate, that hook or your question asking or your ability to overcome objections is lacking. So people are hearing you out, but you're not taking advantage of the floor and you're not actually portraying your value proposition or correctly asking or formulating what you do and how you do it. And the reason why we track these metrics is actually going to help you get better at your scripting. That's really all I'm going to go into on the cold side of things. I'm a much bigger fan of cold calling than cold email. I'd probably be secondarily more excited about DMs. So DMs. The best way that I know how to do DMs is quality, not quantity. So if I go into my LinkedIn DMs right now, I get this. Hey Dylan, really super long message. Don't have time to read it. He's already asking me for a call. I don't know him. He's checking in. If we had to consider our conversation, we never had a conversation. I'd love to help you navigate this process. He says best like it's a cold email. This obviously is automated. All right, here you go. I don't know any of this. I'm curious, are you satisfied with the number of leads coming in from your website? If not, feel free to check out how we create a website system that generates consistent leads using our 6-part framework. Let me know if that's something you'd like to explore. Cheers. Hey Dylan, apologies for my previous messages. If it offended you, you didn't say anything to offend me, so that's kind of corny. I wanted to make it up to you. No, you didn't. This is an automated email. You didn't actually make this video. You actually are just trying to get me to respond. This is your current state of DMs. And I don't think this guy's doing anything too terribly wrong, but it's like, am I even the right person for him? Does he know what my website looks like? Does he know what my business is like? Does he know that I create content talking about how to increase the number of leads for businesses? Now, if I go to his website, now he's taking me off page. Now I got to click this and confirm this. So take your consulting business to the next level with this unbeatable offer, ROI guaranteed or your money back using this blank, blank, blank. So this actually doesn't look like a bad website, but I can guarantee you that this guy could probably lead with a better strategy, given that he has testimonials and results. All right, here we go. Here's some results. I can't click his Google rating, which is kind of sketchy. These could be totally fake. For me to know this, I can't click on the person. I can't validate any of this on a different website. Cool. They got case studies. Great. So 29% faster sales process with a new website, 20% reduced number of questions caused by misunderstandings, more meetings thanks to the enhanced LinkedIn and website presence. So this is an actual pretty good case study right here. If I was him, I would just go with this. Like I would try to find people that look just like this avatar or UB infrastructure or whatever it is. And I would go to a lookalike audience of those people. And then I would reach out to those people and then just tell them and share with them what I've done for people who are similar to you. Now, let's just do one more. Hope you're doing well. Are you looking to streamline your tasks and boost your productivity in 2024? This is what I was talking about earlier in the video with the offer. And then you're going to list all these totally different options. You can help with admin. You can help with podcasting. You can help with video editing. You can help me with lead generation. You can help me with data entry. You can post my content. You can manage my social media pages. And it's all for $12 an hour. I didn't even know this. This is all live, guys. Like, I know that you can't be good at all of those things and only do it for $12 an hour. That just doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure what minimum wage is in the United States right now, but I can guarantee you that there's people who flip burgers at fucking Burger King that make more than this. And then I want to entrust somebody who's cheaper of a labor cost to do very important things inside of my business. It just doesn't make any logical sense here. Also, how am I supposed to answer this or really evaluate what it is that this person does? So I would lead with one thing that someone like myself doing some research on who I am and the business that I have. So a good one, right, is LinkedIn marketing and networking. So if I go to my profile here and I go to my posts recently, I recently have been talking about how I've been posting every single day on LinkedIn, and I plan to do it for the next 60 days. If I was doing any type of LinkedIn growth offer and I did any bit of research, hey Dylan, really love that your commitment to 30 days on LinkedIn posting has gone well, but looking at your metrics, which I share with them, you've only grown your followers by 3.48% and you only have had blank things. What we've done is, on average, the clients that we work with on LinkedIn see an increase in followers of up to 25% within the first 45 days. Would you be interested in learning how we could help boost your follower growth in a short time frame before the end of your 60-day goal? Super poignant and valuable message to send someone like myself that I will read and I will be curious about, because I'm super focused right now in my content journey on LinkedIn is gaining more followers and building an actual really qualified audience of the people that I want to attract. So if you have something that you have proven to have done with someone like myself that could increase and shorten the time horizon that it would take me to see the result that I want to see, then I would be interested. You understand how those DMs work, like understanding your offer and how it relates to your audience and doing a little bit of research about the person that you're reaching out to. That would take you 10 minutes of time, legit. That 10 minutes versus 10 minutes of pulling a list of 3,000 random people that are 20 to 50 employees that do $1 million to $5 million a year in the United States. The 10 minutes that you would do just sending one really good crafted message is going to sign you way more clients, have way more intent, that are going to close at a higher percentage than you just spending money on an automation tool, pulling a bunch of random leads and sending a super generic, dumb fucking message. You're not going to get any results. You're going to bang your head against the wall and you're going to come to the conclusion that cold DMs don't work. That's untrue. Everything works if you do it correctly and you have enough intention and enough effort and passion about getting it done. So be targeted. Don't be a mouth breather, and spend some effort and time. And then be very specific in your messaging and send it to the right person. And then if, let's just say I didn't answer that DM that I just said I would answer to. But let's just say I didn't see it, or for some reason I read it and then I had to hop on a Zoom call and I just totally forgot about your existence, which is actually what happens a lot of the time. I would send follow-ups like, hey, Dylan, not sure if you saw what we're able to do. Here's a quick case study video of another online business owner that we helped add an additional 5,000 followers in 2 months. Take a look. I would watch that if it is actually a valuable thing. That's kind of what I want to say in regards to cold outbound. Now, all of the things that work on cold should be the same hooks, messaging that you use in your content and in your paid endeavors. So everything funnels down from cold. Where a lot of people waste a lot of money is when they start with paid ads and they just throw money into a fire and they're like, why isn't this working? I see other people make money on ads. It's because you haven't taken the time to validate your messaging and to actually make sure that the things that you're saying are going to resonate. People are going to click on it. People are going to like it, and people are going to fill out their information and then subsequently book a call with you. This is probably why a lot of you are on this video, is how to build a sales team. Now that you have your offer in place, you have validated the offer through cold, organic, or paid traffic, and you start getting people who are interested in working with you and paying you for whatever your offer is. Once you have proof and you have actually done this successfully to a degree of success, if you have cold called for your own business and you know that every 100 dials will book you or net you one meeting, and you've done it for at least 30 days, and that has held true. You're doing 100 dials every 3 days. You're booking 3 meetings a week. You have 12 meetings a month, and those 12 meetings you're actually starting to generate money from. That's a good litmus and indicator that now you should hire somebody to deleverage your time as the business owner on the phones, which is not the best use of your time as the most expensive employee in your business. Now you can hire a cold caller to do those 100 dials. And if you know that if your average lifetime value of a client is 5K and you have a 20% close rate on 12 meetings, you get 2.4 clients, and you multiply that by the $5,000 lifetime value, you have $12,000 on just quick math. So essentially you have validated that cold calling is a good channel to grow inside of your business. Now that you've proven that, you want to hire a cold caller. Now, where a lot of business owners get these things wrong is they see somebody like myself talk about how cold calling works for their business. They get all excited. They're like, oh yes, cold calling is gonna be a great thing for us. I'm gonna go out and hire a cold caller. They don't even know what success looks like. So you can't even understand proper KPIs. And then that also talks to compensation. Like you don't even know how to pay somebody because you don't know what it takes to be successful. So make sure that you do these things yourself first before you hire a whole ass human being to come into your business who also needs to pay for rent and food and their car note and all these other things. Don't do that to somebody. Ask yourself the question, would I work for me? If I saw a cold call opening position at my own business, would I be excited to take that role? Would I be confident that I'll be able to make an earning living wage here? And if I was to come into this role, would I be successful in what I was doing? If those questions aren't a very easy resounding yes, then no one else, and you can't expect someone else to come into your business and be successful if you haven't first paved the road. That's how I would look at hiring a cold caller. In regards to paid ads and things like that, I would really make sure that you have good, predictable opt-in cost per lead, cost per qualified lead, booking percentages, and you're actually able to understand if I spend $200 a day, I'm generating 30 leads. And of those 30 leads, 5 book calls. And then the 25, 60% have a good application. And then I need somebody to call these 25 leads and get them onto the calendar. But I'm the business owner and I'm busy fulfilling, creating content, running a business, hiring people, managing people, etc. I don't have the time to call those people within 5 to 7 minutes of them opting in, which is your sweet time. It's called speed to lead. I can't do that. So now you're essentially what you're doing is you're wasting ad spend. And of those 5, how many are showing? What's your show percentage of that? So if you're spending $200 a day, right? $6,000 a month, you better damn sure make sure that the leads that you're spending money on are being worked and nurtured properly. And of the ones that are being worked and nurtured and get on the calendar, they're showing up. And the ones that are showing up are qualified and you're closing those deals and you're actually creating a return on ad spend, your ROAS. Make sure that the money that you're spending is actually coming out the other side. And you want to look at that at like a 30-day increment. In the last 30 days, I spent X. Of X, I've generated Y. Of those Ys, I've created Z. And then of that Z, I've collected B in cash collected. And then I can reinvest my ROAS, increase my ad spend to generate more leads and to predictably scale my paid acquisition funnel. That's what I would look to do before you hire salespeople to do your inbound or your outbound bookings and lead generation from a setter perspective. So now let's just assume you're getting success with cold calling, you're getting success with inbound, and you really do just need to hire people because your bandwidth is too thin and you're not able to actually get the outcomes that you know could be done if you had somebody full-time doing this 100% focus. So a lot of people, they want to hire somebody who sets and closes. Now, I'm going to tell you why that is a bad idea. I've been a full cycle sales rep who've had to hunt and eat my own food. Now, what happens, your salesperson starts right here. Now, what are they going to do? They are going to have to set, right? Because they have no pipeline yet because they just started. So what they're going to do is they're going to do cold calling, emails, they're going to go through your database, you're going to call and work your inbound leads, whatever it is, and then they're going to start to build pipeline. Once you start booking calls, so calls are being booked, now what they're focused on is closing because that's where they make their money. So now all of their attention is on closing and it is no longer on setting appointments. So now they work those deals, the deals that close, the ones that don't, and then what they quickly realize is that I have no pipeline anymore because I have now spent the last week or 2 weeks focusing on closing and I haven't been able to do setting. And then what happens is they start back over here and you get this in your revenue. So they're closing, they're setting, they're closing, they're setting, they're closing. It's just not a predictable way to scale your business. What's a way more predictable way to scale your business is if you have 2 people, 2 roles, 100% focused on setting and closing, and they work together. So this is going to be 100% focus and 100% focus. Now, as a business owner, when you hire someone to 100% own one thing inside of your business, whether that's customer success, whether that's advertising, whether that's social media, whether that's your executive assistant, whether that's your data entry person, when they're 100% focused in their lane, they're going to be more successful rather than split focused. So setters set. So they call, they text, they email, they prospect your leads. And then all their job is to set meetings for the closer to take the call and follow up with that person until they close into cash. Now, the setter is also going to make sure that they show up to the call. And if someone does no show, then it gets punted back over to setters and they have to put that person back on the calendar for the closers, right? But that's kind of what I would recommend, is having a setter and a closer. Now, on average, you can have 2 to 1 ratio of setters to closers. So you want to make sure that your closer is completely booked out for 4 days. So if there's no calendar availability for a setter to book an appointment with a closer in 4 days time period, and they have to book it out for 5 days, that's when you want to hire another closer. So making sure that you fill the closer's calendar as you can, and then hire another closer. The last thing you want to do is hire 2 closers when there's like 2 calls per day. They each take 1 call. They're not going to make any money. They're not going to be excited. They're not going to be focused. They're going to look for other offers. Now, how do you find a salesperson? This is a really easy question and a really hard one that a lot of people get wrong. I would recommend school groups or Facebook groups. LinkedIn's okay. I would also go into my network, make a post, something like that on Twitter or Instagram Reels or your story. Hey, I'm currently looking to hire an appointment setter or a closer, and then sell the metrics. So when you make a job post, your job post is your offer. Treat it as such. So the amount of work and effort that you did to create your offer for your business should be the same amount of time that you take into crafting an offer as a job post. So let me pull up a job post. Ready to be hired for the last time in your career? That's the hook. So you're trying to attract somebody who is looking for a permanent solution. So you don't want to continue on the job offer hopping role that you've currently been doing. This company is looking to hire multiple appointment setters that are ambitious and want to ascend to closers after proving themselves. No, if you want to be a setter for the rest of your career, this role is not for you. This company is now run by business owners who have done these accolades. There's a video about the business they can watch. You need to be hungry, prove yourself on the phones, understand the value. Here's the company highlights. If you're interested, apply here and do blank, blank, blank. This is selling the opportunity. It's giving insights on what you can do. And then it's telling you can make $90,000 a year. There's a base salary. You get paid for showed meetings and you're getting 5% of a $10,000 product. This is the level of degree that you want to have in your job post. You don't just want to be like, hey, I'm looking for appointment setters. Click the link and we'll chat. Or you just get crushed in the DMs by a bunch of people. The most important thing after that is going to be a thorough application to weed out people who are not serious. They're just curious. Now, if a salesperson can't do an application, or they can't take 15 to 20 minutes to apply for your role, probably a pretty good indicator that they're not going to do too much once they're inside of your business. So making sure that there is more friction in the hiring process to make sure you're weeding out people who are not going to be serious or not going to be able to do the things inside of your business that you want them to do. Also, it's going to show you how they portray themselves, what their metrics are, how well do they know their sales game, how well can they portray their previous experience and their previous accolades. So once they go through application, then you're going to go through an interview process. I like to do 2 interviews. The first one is going to be kind of like a culture check, a get to know. And then number 2 is going to be a mock interview. Where people get the mock interview wrong is that they just throw something at this salesperson that they don't fully understand. So if I was to do a mock interview the wrong way, I would do it like this. I would go to somebody and be like, hey, this is our second call. We're gonna do a mock call. I wouldn't prepare them at all. I wouldn't share any valuable information. I wouldn't give them a scenario. I wouldn't give them a templatized script. I wouldn't give them an example of what success looks like and what I'm looking for. I would just throw them into a scenario where they're uncomfortable, they're unconfident, and they're gonna fail. And then I'm gonna think that they're not a good salesperson. What I would do if I wanted this to be a successful interviewing process is I would email them a scenario. So, hey, Mr. Candidate, I'm going to be a business owner with a bad website and I run paid ads ineffectively. Here is a example of a situation or scenario that went well. My company name is going to be blank and I'm this decision maker, or this is my title. Now, why you want to do it like this is A, they're going to be prepared, but you're also going to be able to see how well they are at understanding businesses and doing the actual things that you would ask them to do once they're in your company, but making sure that they would be as armed as they would be if they were in your company. Now, if they do good on the mock interview, then I would hire that person, get them in there as soon as possible. That's how I would go about finding. So I'd make posts in school. I'd go into Facebook groups. I would make a post on LinkedIn. I would make posts in my network, or I'd ask people in my network if they knew somebody or could refer somebody over. I would make a very good job post. I would treat it like an offer. I would make people fill out a pretty strenuous application. And then inside of the interview, I would do 2 interviews. The first one is like a gut check, culture check, vibe check. The second one is going to be a mock interview, but I would be giving the person an actual mock scenario where they're confident, they can be prepared, and I'm going to be able to evaluate them on how well they were to prepare themselves, distill information, and actually have some salesmanship. If they pass both of those, I'm going to extend the offer to that person, and then I'm going to be focused on what the next most important thing, which is going to be onboarding your sales rep, whether it's a setter or a closer. Now, the most important thing that I can tell you is to have a good onboarding process. Where so many businesses and so many of our people that we've worked with before they've worked with us is they don't have a playbook. Playbook, think about it like the NFL. If I'm going to draft a wide receiver, I'm not drafting that wide receiver because he's coming with his own playbook of plays. Incorrect. If we run the West Coast offense, the first thing we want to do is I want to hire or draft somebody that has already been in that system. So they already kind of know what that system is. So if I'm selling a high ticket product, I want to hire somebody who's actually successfully set meetings or closed deals on a high ticket product to my ideal audience in that similar price point. Now, they want to make sure they're in the system, and then I want to be able to give them the plays. Now, what is the plays? That is going to be your scripts, your tracking, your training modules, SOPs, videos, testimonials, making sure that they have everything that they need on day one to learn our playbook, what we do, how we do it, who we do it for, so then they can start to begin to train, take their already known talent and be able to add that talent into your business because you have properly given them all the tools to be successful. Here is an example of a one-pager, which I highly recommend making for a setter and for a closer and pretty much everyone inside of your business. Now, with a one-pager, you want to have the expectations, you want to have the resources, break those resources however down, and any other valuable information for that person to truly understand, to be able to do their job at the level and degree that you want them to be able to do that job. What we have here is an actual scorecard of how they are evaluated. So we need this being done. We need this being done. We need this being done. These are your KPIs. This is what you need to be doing on a daily basis on the candidate side of things and on the client side of things. Also, we're going to have an overview of our systems, of our Go High Level system. We're going to have what Go High Level does for our candidates. We're going to have our Airtable, our master list. We're going to have how to interview sales reps as an SOP, how to make a job post SOP. Here on the client side of things, here's how you can look at different smart lists inside of Go High Level. And we're going to be able to show them step by step exactly how you want to do everything that they're going to be doing. So what I want you to do is to create a one-pager, right? Here's a one-pager for an SDR in our business. Here are your day-to-day tasks, things that must get completed. You got to make 150 dials and set 2 meetings. You got to attend all your internal meetings. You got to practice every single day the script. You have to role play with another salesperson in our business. You need to enter in your numbers into our tracker. You need to submit your end of day report, which is through Slack. And then here are the main resources. Here's their script. This is how to role play. These are the calendar links they should be booking. Here's how to actually make dialers in our CRM. Here's call recordings. Here's how to objection handle. Here's our accolades. And then this is everything that this person needs to do daily, as well as all of the resources that they would ever need to be able to go and reference back to improve in their skill set and or tell you what they did on a daily basis so you can track things confidently inside of your business. That is one of the best ways to onboard sales reps. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a onboarding calendar. So this is an onboarding calendar, guys. Like, this is literally stuff that people pay for. I'm showing it all to you because I want you guys to be successful with this. So you want to structure and rubric out every day for the first 3 weeks with checkboxes that they can do every single day. Now, the most important thing here, and I can go forever on this damn thing, but it is the most important thing is you're going to want to meet with the person the beginning of the day and the end of day, and you're going to want them to start calling very quickly so they can start to get rust off, get the training wheels off. If you have a pre-existing database, I'm going to want you to actually have them call all of your previous leads inside of your CRM, people who've booked calls and never showed, people who have opted in and never given you any money or booked a call or done anything, right? So you want to have them go through your CRM database. We had a client of ours, they hired a setter from us, and the first day, her name was Hannah. You can go on my YouTube video and watch the interview with her. Hannah went through, called all of leads that have no-showed calls in the last 30 days. She was able to get somebody on the phone, book a meeting for the subsequent day. So 48 hours from her start date at the company, they closed a $36,000 lead that was just sitting in their database. Another client, they went back in their database and they called previous clients and asked them to upsell them into larger packages. And then from there, they generated $55,000 in cash collected. And these are on low ticket products, right? So like $1,000 to $2,000 deals. And these people were already there. So essentially the first thing the setter was able to do was create massive value. So A, the salesperson can earn commissions super quickly once they start your business. There's not a long ramp period where they make no money, where you run the risk of churn of that person. So have the person get quick wins. Have the person speak to people who already know you so they feel confident. They're like, oh, this is a good offer. Oh, I'm booking meetings. Oh, I'm making money. On the business side of things, oh, this salesperson's hungry. Oh, this person's already starting to produce an ROI in our business. I'm going to put more time and energy into this person. I want to hire 2 or 3 more of those people. This is the best thing that you can do when you start, is give them the low-hanging fruit that you're currently not picking or cultivating, and allow this setter to go in there from the very beginning, give them the one-pager, give them the scripts, give them how they're evaluated, and then have them go to work. The next thing I'm going to talk about in regards to building a sales team. So as a recap, at this point in time, we have an offer. We've validated it through cold, organic, or paid traffic. We've proven those channels to be successful. We have now found, interviewed, and hired A players, setters, and closers. Now what we're going to want to get into is how do we make those people the most efficient and the most effective at their job. The only way to do that is by creating systems. Big systems is going to be your CRM. It's going to be your follow-up process. It's going to be your funnel. It's going to be your tracking. So the big things here in the CRM, I like GHL or Go High Level. I also like HubSpot or Close. All of those would pretty much do okay. I like Go High Level because you can call, text, email. You can also create your funnel in there. You also can do all your follow-up in there and do all your tracking inside of those things. So CRM is going to be the most important system to have in there. Now, the big things when you're dealing with a CRM is you're going to want to make sure that you have kind of a few things set up correctly in there. So when you're dealing with your CRM, making sure that you have your pipeline really clean. You're going to want to have really good tags, and you're going to want to have lead scoring. So if you're running any type of inbound or paid traffic to a funnel or a website, most likely you're having that person opt in some way, shape, or form so you can get their information, making sure that you have phone and email. So making sure that that person goes into the pipeline, they're tagged as such, what they did, and then you're validating any information that they've given you. So some of the big ones, right, is like revenue, their niche, their pain points, timeline, how early are you looking to start working or finding a solution for something like this. So based on the information that they give here is going to kick back a lead score of 1 through 4, 1 being your worst, 4 being your best quality lead. So you have to understand in your offer who is the best revenue. So if someone comes in my funnel and they're doing 40 to 150K per month, they are running paid ads, they want to get started in 2 weeks, and their biggest pain point is sales talent. They can't find it. So right there, that's a 4. Now, if they came in here and they say, hey, we do 0 to 20K, we do all cold outreach, I want to get started in 3 months and I have no leads, that person cannot even book a call on my calendar. This person goes directly to my calendar and it gets routed to my best closer. So making sure in your systems that you have things built into your system to track things properly, so you're increasing and amplifying the outcomes that you want to create in your business. The best way to have a sales team that walks out the door is if you keep putting terrible leads in front of them, you keep putting people who don't close or have a crazy long sales cycle, the salesperson is going to lose trust in your offer and in your business because they're not going to make any money. They don't think that you know your business too well because you're not getting good lead flow. They're going to go out to a better offer that has those things in place, right? A players want A organizations to work for. The big things is making sure you're tracking things. So if I'm a setter, I'm going to be able to go into the CRM, and for the day, I can go to my smart list or whatever it might be, or I can go to the pipeline that is opt-in, no booking. So these are people that have given us their information and haven't booked a call. That's a really good bucket. But if I don't have those things tagged properly, I can't search for those things in the CRM, or they aren't even existent there, or I don't have all the information mapped into the CRM, the salesperson is just not going to be able to do their job as most effectively. Now, once someone books a call, and then this is the actual call time, what is happening here? What are we sending? What is the SMSs? What is the emails? What is the assets that we're sending that person, right? How many things are we asking them to watch? Or how many case studies are we sending them? Or what kind of relevant information are we sending them to pre-frame them, right? This is your easiest opportunity to increase your close rate and increase your show rate, is what is happening from the time that they speak with someone or they book something organically to the time that that call is actually being held. How many questions can we answer so they don't have to answer on the sales call, which makes less 2 call closes, more 1 call closes? What SMSs and emails are we sending them, at what frequency and what cadence, to make sure they show up to the call? Because the more people that show up to the call, the more opportunities we have to close deals and increase revenue. So making sure that you have proper systems, messaging, and follow-up built in there. So you want salespeople to not have to do these things manually. You don't want setters to manually text, manually email, manually send things out. The more that you can automate, the better. So the salespersons can just focus on what you're actually paying them to do inside of your business. So the best way to do a summary here is to make sure you have a really good offer. People want to buy your stuff, and you know how to target the people who want to buy your stuff. Now, from there, you need to validate with sales and marketing. How well are we at marketing people and attracting the people you want to, and how good are we selling at those people? Once this is validated, then you want to hire a team. You're going to want to onboard and train those people, and then you're going to want to create systems to increase outcomes desirable to the business. And the cool thing is that all these things go back up the chain. So everything that you're hearing in regards to your sales process should alter and impact your funnel. So this is your funnel, and this is your close right here. Why did they close? What are the questions that they asked? Oh, that's a really good question. My salesperson in their end of day reports has mentioned that this was the biggest objection for the last 10 sales calls that we had. Okay, what can we create as an offer owner, as an asset before the call to answer those questions? Or what can we do from a piece of content that messages or talks about that problem? So literally this whole video is based on factual data that people have problems with this type of information that I'm talking about today. The goal of this video is to answer these questions and to educate our audience on how to do things. And my hope is that if someone watches this whole video, they understand that I know what I'm talking about. They went to my website, they've seen our case studies, they've watched my VSL, and they're interested in having us do this for them. That is our main offer. We come into businesses that already have a good offer, they've already validated it, and they need help building a sales team and building those systems to actually grow their business predictably. So what we have is we have setters and closers that we've already trained, that we place into those businesses, and then we work with and consult those businesses to make sure that they're creating the correct systems, their CRMs in order, their onboarding process is good, they have their scripts, they have their tracking, so they can actually predictably grow their business, and the business owner can focus on the things here that drive all of the leads, and then we handle everything from opt-in to client. That's where we sit, in this beautiful area right here. If you get more people there, we'll get more people here. First of all, congrats if you just watched through this video. In this video, we talked a little bit about how to create an offer, how to validate that offer, how to hire a sales team, and then how to systematize that sales team to make them the most effective. But obviously this was only a 60-minute video. A lot of specifics were left out, just trying to fit everything into the video. So if you're interested in how to build a sales team, there's going to be a video on the screen that's going to teach you another subject on sales, how to close more deals, how to overcome objections. And if you're interested in working with us and having us do this with you and for you, there's going to be a link in my bio or probably below this video, and I'll see you in the next one.